So I'm Dr. Tiffany Gray. I am from DC. I have a doctorate in public health. So my background and expertise is in public health and public health research, examining different health behaviors in different populations and their impact on overall well-being, essentially. So I'm pretty new to the blockchain space. I also am the research and science advisor with a company called Axes and Eggs. We are a blockchain think tank based in Washington, D.C. and Dubai. I'm also a new fellow with Blockchain and Healthcare Global, and also I serve as the co-chair for the UN's Blockchain for Impact. It's part of the UN's Blockchain for Sustainable Development Initiative. So UN has about 15 blockchain projects currently going on, and so I'm co-chair of the Global Health and Disaster Relief Subcommittee. And so our goal there will be, eventually, we just launched in June, and so our goal will be to connect essentially those with blockchain related products and tools with different kind of organizations or projects that are looking to make a broader impact on lives, on people's lives. So that's where I am.
Wow. I think a quicker answer, I should have asked the question, what don't you do?
So yes, for me, my passion is, again, just, promoting well-being and helping people live healthier lives and, fulfilling lives as well. So just, I come to the space to bring the message of, as we're developing all of these, whether technologies and, blockchain and digital health tools, to make sure that we're including the communities and we're really assessing what is it that you need and what can we do to help you adopt this in order to help you better interact with the healthcare system, better interact with your provider, how can it help you and your family, essentially, and really truly have the impact that we say that blockchain will have on health.
Okay, so it seems to me, and this is from first take, that you are an individual that's passionate about enabling the improvement of health of others, of everyone. Your project specifically that deals with blockchain use cases in the UN, right? Well, of those countries, disintermediate countries. I'm curious what your work is there. You said you just started in June. Is there one project in particular that you're super excited to highlight?
So we don't really have any projects yet. So again, we're just launched again in June, and so everything we're still kind of organizing and working with our committee to kind of essentially identify how we'll identify these pilot projects.
Yeah. What's the criteria behind it? Maybe you can give us a little bit of insight.
We're still working that out. But again, I mean, what it comes down to is sustainability of being able to make sure that the tools and resources are ready and that they're ready to scale, and that we can go ahead and when it's actually adapted to the projects that we're looking to identify.
Interesting. So criteria is being built now. I am curious what the board looks like behind the building of that criteria. I'm sure you've collected individuals with years and years of experience in this matter.
So we have a wide range of individuals. We have individuals in healthcare like myself. We have people who are in the field of research, neuroscience, and global health and health policy, folks actually active in the global health space as well as the blockchain space, faculty and academics, so those from the financial sector. So we have a wide range of individuals that are coming together to work for good.
Sure. Yeah. It's kind of incredible because this is a recurring theme that I like to explore. I'm Filipino, and my home country is extremely disintermediated. At least the people of my country are. A lot of the economy and basically a lot of the struggles that people face there completely and directly tied to the government and their mishandling, rather their lack of oversight and lack of democracy over there. So something alluring to blockchain for me is basically its use cases with countries like, my home country. Would you say, in your opinion, I know you guys are still vetting projects and rather still building that criteria, like is there any place in particular that you can definitely see, a huge impact with, you know, your current professional use case in the blockchain space?
So it brings to mind, it is, but I feel like there are, you know, a lot of different countries that we could look at. I know there's, I'm going to mess this up, but we do have a project, I believe out of their IRO network, IRYO network, IRO network, and they do a lot of work with different, like refugee camps, providing digital identification, and I believe it's based out of Jordan.
Okay.
And so, you know, identifying similar projects like that where we can really help people that are in need and to kind of get them back on their feet, essentially. But there are definitely, we actually, some of the other subcommittees are also looking at, again, how they can work with governments and, you know, helping the people there and you know, working within policy, which is difficult, of course.
I love that. You were like speaking my language. I'm like developing a crush on you, like low key. Like I can't even, honestly.
Charmer.
No, that's what you are. I'm just a bystander.
I thank you.
So, final thoughts, just to wrap this all up, right? Well, what is a message that you have for people, just like yourself? You said you're coming into the space. What is a message for people that want to explore this space and they think they can bring some value to it, but they're just not sure where to start? Well, where would someone start?
You don't. No one is an expert. We're all still learning about blockchain and where it will be in the future. And a lot of it right now is theory. And I think now we need to move in, especially within health and research, move into kind of assessing and developing some real true use cases so that we can say, well, here are some initial findings, so that we can have some tangible outcomes that we can say, okay, this is where we think it's going to go, but this is how this could look like, so that we have a sense of the pros and the cons and we can make adjustments as needed. So
amazing. How are you this buttoned up? This is like the most, like, I ask a question, your answer is incredibly impeccable.
Being honest.
I haven't even had to walk you through it. Of course you're a doctor. Is this like the big step from not being a doctor to being a doctor? Was it always this easy for you in life? Just be honest.
No. It's not been easy. It's been a road, especially if we got time to talk about PhD life. So I'm new post-grad.
I would definitely, coming from like the standpoint of like looking into actual doctorate degrees, because that's what I'm doing right now personally. This is off the record, by the way. This is gonna be part of it, or it could be. We'll see. But you know, I am like very interested in what that looks like in terms of, you know, is it worth it? What kind of practicality can I expect to gain out of me doing this, you know, pursuing that? But I guess that's I mean, you're still picking the pieces together. You said you're newly a doctor.
Right. I think, again, it's something that you have to think about what it is you want for your future. I knew going into the field of public health, this was something that I wanted to do and wanted to pursue. And I knew that for me, it would provide entry and a seat at the table. And it would help me to create my seat at the table by having those letters behind my name, especially as a woman of color. And I know for some people it's like, oh, it's a waste, it's just a degree, it's just a piece of paper, but there are tangible lessons and things that you can learn. It's allowed me to work with a lot of great, incredible researchers and academics. You don't have to be in academia, you don't have to be a faculty member, you don't have to, you know, go pursue tenure. You can come into different spaces and work interdisciplinary, you know, work with others, you know, in different areas, in different fields outside of yours, and bring your experiences and your expertise to help improve other areas. Like, you know, for me, it's like I never thought I would end up in tech and blockchain, but I'm seeing how I can talk about the importance of community health and working with different populations and vulnerable populations and minority populations and all those things, and how, and at the end of the day,
I love that you brought that up, by the way, minority populations, because that's basically in this country, that's what we are. You know, our people are minorities in any space that we bring it to. You know, so I'm glad that, or actually I'm happy that there are people that think about these things when they do things. You know, it's like, what does this do? Not just for like me, but for like, how do my actions speak for everyone else that is disintermediated, right?
Exactly. So definitely, and I think that often I entered the space, felt that's been a lacking piece of the conversation. There are groups that are focused on, you know, bringing the information of blockchain and cryptocurrency to vulnerable minority populations and communities of color, essentially. So there are, you know, we're working together to spread that message, but we shouldn't have to work in silo. We should be able to work together.
Yeah. As a human being and living on this planet Earth, if you compare us to each other, we're all truly decentralized. You know, we're all on this network of like life. And so breaking that down, getting to the granular of that, I think that's like so important. And even more so representing, again, your ideologies and your culture's ideologies in a space that is so inviting. It's really cool to see. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope it wasn't so much of a terrible bore.
No, this was a great conversation. I'm glad I could speak with you today.
Yeah, I'm glad that you could share some insight and knowledge with us as well.